Hello and welcome to Forever Rugby on Forever Sports. And Jacques Nienaber has named his final 23 for the third and final test this weekend. And some very, very big omissions, including no Dwayne Vermeulen in the final 23, which is something that I actually kind of expected. It was quite strange on Friday, Jake White saying that Vermeulen is a couple of weeks from being back and is not quite yet match fit. And yet them being drafted in the Springbok squad on Sunday. A lot of people saying it was a bit of gamesmanship and that he was going to play and stuff like that. Warren Gatland was pretty adamant he wasn't going to be in the final 23, and he is right. No Dwayne Vermeulen, but in many ways, almost more importantly in terms of continuity from the weekend, no Faf de Klerk and no Pieter-Steph du Toit. They have both been ruled out through injury, and as a result, the Springboks will not be going into the final test with a bomb squad or 6-2 split. We have reverted back to a 5-3 split, as well as a couple of positional changes and a veteran on the bench. Before we do look at the team, please do smash a like on the video and subscribe to the channel if you are new. And in terms of how we're lining up, so there are no changes to the front row. Stephen Kitshoff, Bongi Manambi and Frans Malherbe. But Eben Etzebeth will have a new lock partner in Loet de Jager as Franco Mostert shifts to the flank as we saw him towards the latter stages of the second test. Siya Kolisi keeps his spot after probably one of his best games in a Springbok jersey. Jasper Wiese also keeps his spot in the number 8 jumper. In the backline, Faf de Klerk is replaced by Kobus Reinach, and that is the only change to the starting backline. Honje Pollard, Makazole Mapimpi, Cheslin Colby, the centre pairing of Damien de Alindi, as well as the Kanyo and Billy Leroux keeps his spot. On the bench, Malcolm Marx, Trevor Nyakani, and Vincent Koch were very, very good off the bench last weekend. They keep their spots. Trevor staying as the loose head cover. Marco Verstappen and Quagga Smith are the only other forward replacements. So Loet de Jager coming into the starting lineup and not being replaced on the bench with a lock option, which would have probably been something like Marvin Orie or a Reynard Alstad, who was quite flexible. Herschel Yankees continues on the bench, as does Damian Willemse, but they are now joined by the veteran, the man who kicked the Springboks to victory in the last series. Morné Steyn comes in the number 22 jersey, his first match for Springboks this season and first match for the Springboks for years and years, in fact. So it's some very, very big calls. I think the big thing is obviously no bomb squad. And we've talked about this quite a lot, about the fact that the bomb squad, first of all, it's only a bomb squad when there's a 6-2 split. If you don't understand that, then you haven't been watching enough Springbok rugby. A 5-3 split can by definition not be a bomb squad. And the biggest thing that we talked about this is the fact that, is it a bomb squad just because we go to a 6-2 split, or can we only deploy a bomb squad of sorts when we have the right personnel? So, for example, being able to put on, Loet and Arches Neyman and like Francois Lowe, for example, or, back in the day. And like last weekend, Loet de Jager, Markham Stad, and Quagga Smith. Sort of select players who can come on and have quite a big impact. I don't think it's quite a bomb squad impact if you're putting on maybe like a Marvin Orie, Reynard Alstad, and a Marco Verstappen or a Quagga Smith type thing. I think it's quite specific to the type of personnel that we have. And that's why we're seeing us reverting back to a 5-3 split, which is quite interesting. And I think some big games are going to be needed from Kobus Reinach, as well as off the bench. The likes of Van Staden and Quagga Smith are going to have to come on and be very good at the breakdown in that second half. So some very big calls. I think the biggest one probably being Franco Mostert at number 7. I don't think we have to worry too much. But it's about the fact that there's no lock cover on the bench, which means you probably think that those three will likely play the entire game, because we want to have that line-out option. We want to have the height in the line-out. So having Eben Etzebeth, Loet de Jager, and Franco Mostert, wouldn't be surprising if they lost the whole game. The big thing is, can Loet de Jager last a full game? And if he does, Franco Mostert can swap back to number 5 jersey, and we can put Quagga Smith and Marco Verstappen there at 7 and 8, or 6 or 7, or 6 and 8 and stuff like that. We can kind of sort of move things around a little bit, but it is a lot of big calls, and I think that we all know this is not as strong as the team was last weekend. So some big question marks about, can Mostert do it at the number 7? I think he can. I think he's in such good form at the moment. He's such a hard worker. He can make most positions work, but you do kind of lose the physicality of Pieter-Steph du Toit. Kobus Reinach will be under the microscope. He's a very good player and in very good form, and I think he's definitely earned the right to start. And we talked about the fact that he probably will be more likely to start than Herschel Yankees, who is probably better off the bench. But also a big question mark over Morné Steyn. His first Springbok game in a long time, played in the SAA game, but hasn't really sort of had a lot of time in the Springbok colours in a Test match level recently. And the big sort of question is does he have the ability to still play Test match rugby. Can he cope with the pace and the nature of the game? What will be quite interesting is will he be replacing Andre Pollard? Do we think we look at replacing maybe Damon Delende and moving Pollard to inside centre? So I think that'll be quite an interesting call. And I think we'll probably leave Morné Steyn on the bench for as long as we probably can. I think it's just a case of we cannot go into this game like we did last weekend without a second goal kicking option. And if there's one person that you have to bet your house or your life or a series down with the boot, in theory it is Morné Steyn. He's done it before, and we are hoping he can do it again. Let me know what you think of the side. We'll be going live tonight. We will just sort of dissect the side and the British and Irish lines a little bit more. We'll have the press conference up from Jacques Nienaber where he can explain the selections, as well as the one with Warren Gatland where he denies ever calling the TMO into question as well on the channel. So make sure you subscribe and smash like on the video as well. My name is Stephen. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll chat to you soon.